There have been many instructions drawn in crop pictures worldwide showing us the physics of how UFOs fly, and I've built a new model here based on one of these from the Czech Republic in 2018. We can see 3 wire coils around the outside. It's twisting with 3-phase power that makes a magnet spin and rise up in the middle. Below we have a wire coil which can either attract or repel that magnet. So actually I'm using 6 wire coils, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with a 3-phase power supply UVW. They're arranged as UUVVWW. In the center we have a magnet which can rise up and spin, and below there, I don't know if you can see it, I've wrapped a wire coil which is like that wire coil, and I can turn on DC power to make it either attract or repel the magnet below. And the trouble here is when the magnet rises up, how are we going to extract energy from that rising magnet to make the whole thing move? So if that magnet attracts that wire coil, the whole thing will lift up. So we're going to investigate to see how that happens, whether we can turn on the attraction permanently or in a pulsed fashion like for a transformer or a jumping ring. And we're going to follow the results on this scale below to see what happens. We've turned on the 3-phase power supply, and these 6 wire coils with 3-phase power, as we turn it up, makes the central magnet spin, as you can see the red thing going around, and also wobble. The magnet's placed near the top of each coil. That's slow speed, that's 5 Hertz times per second. We'll go up to about 10 Hertz. You can see it's wobbling and spinning about 10 times per second. 12 Hertz. Weight on the scale remains unchanged so far at about 1 gram tared. And now we go up to 15 Hertz and we turn on the magnetism to attract. Pulls it down. Rise up, pulls it down. Rise up, pulls it down. What happens to the scale when we do this? Well, the scale's at rising up is 1 gram. When we pull it down, we see a quick negative pulse. That quick negative pulse. That quick negative pulse means the whole thing's being lifted up by about 5 grams. Now, as a control, when the magnet is not spinning, when we turn on the lower wire coil, you can hear the hum of a classic UFO motion. But there's very little change of weight. When we pull it down, like this, we get a quick negative pulse of weight. Just as another control, when we place that wire coil on the scale with the same magnet above it, but not the 3-phase coils, and turn on the DC power, you can hear the hum of attraction, but the weight changes very little. That's with the field, that's without. maybe half a gram. And you can barely get the thing off of there. In summary, we seem to have learned something today which violates what might be called common sense. Normally, if you have a magnet here and a coil there, if these two objects attract one another mutually, they come closer together, but there's no change of weight on a scale. However, when that upper magnet is rising and spinning and it attracts this wire coil here, they come closer together, and now there is a change of weight on a scale, and the thing goes upward slightly by about 10 grams, and that is indeed what they drew for us in crops in the Czech Republic in 2018. Now, as possible confirmation of this pulsed mechanism for UFO levitation, like say for a transformer or a jumping ring, we can study two of the crop pictures which were drawn near Avebury, England in 2012. One of them, for example, had the landscape image of a UFO with this diagram below telling how it goes up. There's a little man in a UFO there. When we look at that crop picture in more detail, plus another one which was paired with it nearby, you can see something moving by pulses from left to right through a magnet or through a ring. And the second one shows how it pulses by a lens-type mechanism pulsed, like that, moving in pulses. And you can see going from that step, the big ring, to the right by one step, is just one pulse. So we'll have to examine this physics further to see if we can make it useful.